I can even think, maybe I need to go to the RPSOL, which is the Rob Pierce School of Leadership.
RPSOL, there you go.
Well, you can learn all of those things.
Does that mean you've now, do you own the IP now that you said it first on camera?
No, it's all yours, it's all yours.
There are witnesses.
RPSOL. So at some point, Avondale IT morphed into more of a digital focus, which became the foundation
of Jellyfish.
What was known, or what became known
Jellyfish?
As Jellyfish. Correct. Tell us a little bit about that transition.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Obviously, we knew we were going into the digital and media world, so Avondale IT wasn't going to cut it as a name. So the first process was to put our positioning together, to understand what our proposition is going to be, and definitely we took the attitude that we got to try and be the best.
Okay.
And in order to be the best, one of the biggest challenges is scale, etc. So you have to go as niche, exactly that. Keep going as niche as you can until you are the best. So, we actually positioned ourselves as the number one paid search agency in the publishing sector, which is where we were concentrating, on a performance model in Reigate. No one can argue. We were the best.
That's it.
If that's how you describe yourself, you're the best.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no scale. Anything where you go to the long tail, it's very niche, but it hasn't got volume.
Yeah.
And so the idea was to become the best, to actually expand in that area. So we got more and more publishing clients. We got more and more revenue. We started to learn our trade, and then we could drop off Reigate, and then you could drop off the publishing sector. Then you can drop off performance-based model, because you're now able to charge with fee revenue and recurring revenue, etc. And then we ended up, just slowly but surely building the business in an organic way. But obviously, the challenge often comes, and I think I said this at the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Conference. And I, got this murmur in the room when I said, the most successful businesses are the ones that are going to fail. And, what do you mean?
Please unpack that.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to presume.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
I mean is that I always use the analogy of a JPEG versus a vector image. And a vector image is one that, the file can scale to the side of a business. It doesn't lose its integrity, quality, whereas a JPEG is pixelated and it looks great that size. Stretch it too far and it just turns into this blurry mess. A lot of small businesses are a JPEG. And the time and effort haven't been put into the infrastructure, the technology, the team, and so on, because it's a lifestyle business, or it's an embryonic business where people are wearing lots of hats and they don't have the funds and the ability to put enterprise level solutions in place. So it's the really good business that has a really great product and a great sales team, etc., and wins that big client, or goes viral because their product's great. And then suddenly you've got to deliver on a scale that you have no infrastructure to do, and then there goes the JPEG, and then you've lost, and then it goes pop. And so actually the really good businesses, right at the time that they're going to be successful, can't cope. And so that's what I mean. And so we were in that situation where I think we knew that up front, and we were building in the resilience and the systems and the process, and we're all into systemizing things, and or productizing, as I called it at Jellyfish, and that's methodology, technology, and human capabilities coming together. And it's systemized in a way that is packaged up so you can get continuity. You constantly evolve, test, analyze, refine. And as that system, it's the one place. It's the single point of truth. That's how we do it.
And the acid test.
That's it. But it's not restricted. Technology and human capabilities coming together. But it's always one place. That's how you do it. But you can innovate. You can change it. But when you do it, it goes back to the central spot, and everybody then benefits. Otherwise, so you don't end up with little teams doing it differently. One doing it brilliantly, but it doesn't feed back in to empower the whole organization to continue to do it that way. So we did that really early on.
Which is remarkable, because at this point you are nowhere near the scale that Jellyfish is today or was when you exited.
Yeah.
So that and it just works, doesn't it?
Well, again, you're just putting in the foundations to turn it into a vector. You know, you realize that these things are important, and we often invested up front to make sure that we had the right people or the technology, etc. And don't get me wrong, I'm now speaking with a hell of a lot of retrospective wisdom. So I'm sitting there going, I can't remember me when I was 34, 35, 36 going through all of this. But I do know now, and exactly. I already blew it when I said how long ago I was looking at university. And so I just think that as you start to evolve and you're learning, and now the situation is maybe I look back with a little bit of rose-tinted glasses, and some things we were experimenting, and now I make it sound like it was intentional and that we were doing it. But being an entrepreneur and growing a business is no different to a parent.
You say that. I'd suggest that maybe it was intentional, because the very methodology, the very way of your leadership style was about keeping focused on the mission. And you don't get more intentional than that.
Well, yeah. So that bit. Yes.
What's happening now is you are telling the stories that validate the mission that you and Paul set out to do.
Yeah. So that
you're being a little bit hard on yourself by saying that.
Well, I think that bit I can take ownership for 100%. But I just think that then when we talk about how we got there, I think I suppose I'm not always showing the workings. I just show the end result, and I think there was a lot of learning. And like I say, that's why I use the analogy. It's very similar, and I'm in this great situation where I can always tell the story, because Ria was born the year that I joined Paul and created Jellyfish. So being a parent, having these two things that you could reimagine every day what they're capable of, and this business situation, I wasn't born, I didn't do a course on being a parent. Every day I was learning, refining my approach, and none of it was perfect, because I don't know what perfect is, but I mean, obviously I feel like Ria's a perfect outcome.